that means the dynasty is over. I think AD and LeBron in LA for the next 3 years together, in my opinion, neutralizes Golden State from getting back to the finals.
Ben Simmons this year would give you a better chance to win than Kuminga and Moses Moody, Wiseman and Wiggins. Instead, you've got this old, really good part of your team, these young projects who won't help you at all this year. So I don't think they'll contend in what's left of Steph's prime, Brandon.
Yo, it's so interesting to me, like how so many people were trying to convince themselves that the Warriors dynasty was just over with. It's just so odd because it was very clear that the dynasty began before all of those players existed. The Jordan Bulls, they're done. No more Horace Grant. Oh my goodness, it's over with. And it's like, no, that's not how it goes. You can retool, restructure. It really stemmed from this idea though that Kevin Durant had to save the Warriors dynasty, but that was also just a bunch of baloney. I don't know why people believe that.
This is the end of the Warriors dynasty?
If they lose Kevin Durant, no doubt. You think it's so easy to replace Kevin Durant? You're paying Draymond, you're paying Steph, you're going to pay Clay, right? Who are you going to get to replace Draymond, to replace KD? What are the assets that you're going to use to bring in another superstar? You don't have the money.
I know, it sounds crazy now because we've gone through the process, but this is how people used to talk about the Warriors. Did they not just win a championship in 2015 without another star caliber player with just Curry, Clay, and Draymond? Did they not have the most wins in regular season history in 2016 with just Curry, Clay, and Draymond? Did they not eventually make it to the finals again? So people, once more, they just act as if they lost in 2016, so that's who they are, as if they didn't make it to the finals. They made it to the finals and they got pushed to 7 games. And the determining factor in that series, or one of, if not the biggest, was a game-winning shot, a series-defining shot from Kyrie Irving. So that's what it took for them to lose, to act as if the trio of Curry, Clay, and Draymond were just so far removed from winning a championship. That's ridiculous. All they need was more adequate supporting cast members, which is what they got. And they went back to the champ, dog.
Give us your early picks. Warriors versus Celtics. I guess I know where you're going.
I get this, Skip. Thank you, Boston Celtics. I really appreciate this. They know JT my guy, so they go ahead and hook your boy up.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you worry about this here. You ain't got no
so
jersey.
He wears 0 for 0 rings?
No.
He's about to have 0 rings.
He about to have one.
Wow.
He about to get one.
Really?
Yeah, they about to take the lead on the Lakers, unfortunately.
Really?
Shannon, who wins, Mavs or Warriors?
Baby Bird. He gonna do it, Skip.
Baby Sparrow.
He gonna do it. I'm riding with him, Skip. He's the best. He's the best player remaining in these playoffs.
Hey, you know what's another thing that's so interesting to me? How so many people are unwilling to relinquish the number one best player in the league title to Curry, or even relinquish a top 3, a top 3 player in the NBA title to Curry. He's accomplished those things. He's played a way to proven that he is that player. But for whatever reason, people are nah, I'm gonna get with somebody else. Also, just FYI, just so people don't know this, go back and just go look at how many times a team has actually beaten the Warriors, individual games in a series. A lot of times they beat these teams in 4 or 5 games. It is very rare that a team can get 2 wins on the Warriors in a series. Of course it's happened, but it's very rare. So it's so weird to me when this trio can exist. People were just not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, especially against teams that the Mavericks was going to beat. I personally, for a split second, I was okay, maybe. But there was never really a moment where I felt very, very good about the concept that the Mavericks, especially not the goddamn Celtics, beating not the Warriors. Absolutely not. Jeez.
How many titles in the next 4 years? So y'all gonna sit on First Take. You and Dominique
This is such a classic.
are going to
Classic.
sit on First Take and say that Steph Curry will not be in the conversation for a championship in the next 4 years.
Get us out of here, Victoria.
All right,
He's got sick handle and all of that stuff. There's something different. It's hard to explain what it is with Steph, but Steph is somehow the greatest system player of all time. And I'm not saying that to shade him, but you are not going 1-4 flat.
No, that's the
and
thing.
being get us a bucket.
That's the thing. The thing is, even Lillard and Kyrie are different in a way that you can tell them, go get me a bucket, in a way that doesn't involve, and this is not a shade to Steph Curry when I say this, trickeration.
Yes.
Like everything with Steph sets up off of the shot, off of the threat of him beating you off from 35 feet. So when he crosses you over, he's getting you off your feet because you are worried about him stepping back and hitting the three compared to Kyrie or Dame. They just...
Oh, brother. I cannot stand who got a deeper bad talk. I don't know why this continues to go on, but people have been much more louder about it for whatever reason. Just because somebody doesn't do it doesn't mean that they can't do it. Like, it's so weird to me that we identify that this is a team sport, but as soon as somebody plays within the confines of their teams, he can't do it like they do it. Doesn't mean he can't do it like they don't do it. It just means that he's in a team that has a system. So he's opting in to work within the system because that's the best way to play. But that doesn't mean that he cannot do it. For example, Michael Jordan. Before Phil Jackson came along, he had a year where he averaged 38 and 8. So to believe that he could never average 8 assists is ludicrous. So that doesn't mean that he couldn't do it when he was averaging like 4 or 5, sometimes 6 assists with Phil Jackson. It just means that the system that was set in place and what they deemed necessary from Jordan wasn't to go out and average 8 assists. But that doesn't mean that he could not do it. So this belief that, you can't you're not gonna run a 1-4 flat. Who cares? I've never ever understood this obsession with for a fact that style of basketball isn't the most effective, nor does it like translate to wins as much as system, like an actual system being ran. And yet for whatever reason, it's still worth noting, like he can't do that. You have a money counter right here. And then, or you can choose to count out $1,000 in ones right here. And I opt in to use the money counter because it's the most efficient way to do it. And then you're like, ooh, I don't know. Can he count to 1,000? Like, nigga, what? Like, you think I'm dumb? Like, what do you think? Of course I can count the money, but the most efficient way is for me to put the money in the money counter. In basketball, when we had these conversations, we have to sit here and jerk off players because they can do things that we all know does not contribute to winning basketball at a high level. We know it already. We know that. But we got to sit here and just jerk them off anyway. Oh, man, you know how he can do. This is the weird part of basketball. You have to prove that you have the ability to play losing basketball first before you can actually start winning. I have to prove to you that I know how to lose at the game of basketball. I have to prove that just so my numbers can look great.
Is Dame the top point guard in the league?
Yep. Steph Curry showed the way, but Damian Lillard saw that, and he's shooting from a million miles away and hitting, and is completely unstoppable offensively. And then when you look to this year, not only is his game still ascending, where Curry's has plateaued, but it's ascending, and now he has certain pieces on the team. When you examine these two guys' teams, in fact, Damian Lillard's life is going to be a little easier on the Blazers than Steph Curry's is going to be on the Warriors, I think.
That is literally one of the dumbest takes I have ever heard in my life. There's never been a moment in Damian Lillard's career where he was a better player than Stephen Curry. There's never been, and I love Dame, there's never been a year, there's never been a moment in my life where I thought Damian Lillard was better than Stephen Curry. Also, saying that Dame has gone a step above Curry would be you insinuating that Damian Lillard has the argument for the greatest offensive player of all time. Once more, Damian Lillard has never been that. And if you're saying that, you're dumb. You're just dumb. There's no other way around it. You are dumb.
If Steph had Russ's usage rate, if Steph had Harden's usage rate, well, if he doesn't, they have no shot this year. And I'm concerned he can't do it. That he's not built for their usage rate, that he's not built to carry an under-talented team. And again, he is great at what he is, but now they're asking him to be something slightly different. And I don't know that he can do it.
Again, I don't know why. I'm so serious. Why does somebody have to prove to you that I know how to play losing basketball better than somebody else? Here's the funny part. When somebody loses, it's a team sport now. He didn't have the right pieces. But then you also want him to play as if like he doesn't have the right pieces. So you celebrate the style of play that can only be played when there's a bunch of bad players around him. But then when they lose, you then default to, oh, he doesn't have a bunch of good players around him. So why the fuck do we sit here and celebrate the style of play that attributes to that type of basketball? That doesn't make any sense.
I feel like Jokic and Steph are just a little bit below those other 5.
It just blows my mind Steph isn't top 5 for anybody. Is it because of age or just like production?
Because I do my top 5 off of like, obviously you got to perform and kill and all that. That's number 1. But then like I got to look at your game and just how you do it. And Steph, like how he plays and how he gets stuff off, it's just kind of one-dimensional at times. If that makes sense, like.
No, it don't make no sense, nigga. What are you talking about? Is one-dimensional. If we know he can get, if anything, it's more versatile than anybody because we know he can score off the dribble. We know he can score inside and out. And we also know he can score off ball as well. So how is it one-dimensional? That doesn't make any sense. And this idea that, oh, he doesn't have the ball in his hands enough. But again, that's by design, but it doesn't mean that he can't do it because last year, not this past season, but a year before that, when Klay was out and Curry was averaging like 37 in the last 25 games of the season, the ball was definitely in his hands then. Then also this year in the finals, when they were playing drop coverage and pick and rolls and he was just torching the Celtics defense, the ball was in his hands then as well. And then even before Steve Kerr came to coach the team, the ball was in his hands then as well. So he's proven that he can score effectively, efficiently, and at a high volume with the ball in his hands when need be. It's just odd to me that a team and a player can be that successful and people still downplay what they're doing as if like they haven't been whipping on your ass and everybody else's ass in the NBA for the last 5-7 years. How about this? Especially if it's one-dimensional, you think that it's easy. How about you do it, nigga? You do it, and then maybe you will have a different outcome in your career. Because you're telling me that if I'm Steph Curry, I'm sitting here playing a style of basketball that has produced not only me as an individual, having some of the greatest offensive seasons of your lifetime. I'm playing basketball. You turn on the TV and you watch me. I could be literally playing the greatest piece of basketball, especially offensively, that you have ever laid eyes on. And then also, this is a style of play that is translated to a level of success that is on par with any other all-time great dynasty. And then niggas supposed to sit here and question, oh, well, I don't know. I don't really feel that. But again, I have to prove that I know how to play losing basketball in the NBA. For whatever reason, this is the only sport where I have to prove to the masses that I know how to play losing basketball better than everybody else. Who cares about what the end result is? Who cares about what my teammates feel and what they're doing? Who cares? As long as I can dribble tween hezzy splash, as long as I can do that and I can score at least enough to convince everybody, that's fine. That's fine, of course. But hey, man, I don't understand this concept of having to play losing basketball. Y'all try to explain to me in the comment section below. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification bell. If y'all love these type of videos, let me know down below as well. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.